Getting ready for this partner forward, Southwest Florida Sharks versus the Palm Beach Breakers. And they're off. Nick Shappy of the Southwest Florida Sharks on your right. Andres Montenegro from the Palm Beach Breakers on your left. Now, Andres Montenegro coming back to the grid. It's been a few seasons since we've seen him. He's formerly from the Miami Freaks, then from the Daytona Beach Venom before they went to Vegas. Took a few seasons off, and now he's back for the Palm Beach Breakers. So he's definitely a good pickup as far as the bodyweight specialists go. Nick Shappy, of course, MVP over their 2025 season for the Southwest Florida Sharks championship team. Doing amazing. His wife back there, they are actually expecting, so she is not working at her full capacity, but they are just a powerhouse couple here. This is Valerie Cintrone on your right, formerly actually newly changed her last name. It was Valerie Gunning, but she recently got married, so congratulations to the happy couple. And of course, Alyssa Martinez, which I'm actually surprised to see on the partner forward because she's dealing with an injury and supposed to be out of that one.
Yeah, I spoke with her yesterday, and she was kind of nervous about this one because she was talking about that she was having some issues with her thighs and glutes and talking about some cramping. So she wasn't sure she was going to be able to come through with this, but they are a little short on athletes, so I'm going to be watching for her to see how healthy she can stay throughout the match.
Absolutely. We're also looking at Evan Newman, who is the partner that's waiting in the hash box next to Alyssa on the left-hand side of your screen. He is a very skilled athlete, such a great pickup from 1 or 2 seasons ago, and has made a huge difference for the team and their playoff run last season.
And you see Alyssa was struggling just a little bit. You'll typically see her in the 3rd and 4th quadrant handling the heavier loads, but you have Rowe, who will definitely be closing it out, but they will handle a lot of what Alyssa will be doing, but it's going to be interesting to see the work spread out.
Absolutely. Valerie Cintron, Zayan Zafra over there on the right-hand side of your screen have a good lead here. They're already quite a few elements into the 3rd quadrant, while the Breakers just got into the 3rd quadrant. Now moving into the 4th quadrant, Zayan Zafra, they're keeping the same people. He's going to have to keep his heels off the floor for these pistol thrusters. This is one of the harder movements for sure, especially for the men.
Exactly, and that weight is heavy in the movement. Like, you want to be fast, but you still have to be smooth because that pistol thruster, it requires so much balance, and then going into that overhead squat, if you're just forward just a little bit, it can pull you forward. So being smooth is fast with this one.
And that is a race win for Valerie Cintron, Zayan Zafra, and the Southwest Florida Sharks. That is the first race of the day for this matchup, and a great one so far. Moving into the 4th quadrant, Nathan Cobb just got there. I want you guys to take a look at when Rose Scott does her pistols, just because they are so incredibly impressive. If we look over at the Breakers, they were so fast. They're so fast that they're already on the overhead squats. Wow.
And Rose's overhead mobility is so good that you just see she utilizes a little bit of a close grip.
And that is a race finish for the Palm Beach Breakers. They're going to finish within the time cap. So they will get that 1 point as opposed to the 2 points if they would have won, which the Sharks received.
So I'm going to be looking at the Breakers man, Cassie, because, again, the women are a little bit short-handed, especially on the women's barbell side, but to see if the guys can pick up the slack in some of these races.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster and see what we can expect here.
All right, we already highlighted her for a minute, but of course the return of Rose Scott, which is a very strong, talented athlete, so we'll be seeing her on the barbell, but also on the rig as well.
Absolutely. Rose Scott, she used to play for the Palm Beach Breakers a long time ago, and then she took a break. Then she played for the Daytona Beach Venom for a little while, took a few seasons off, did like very high levels of CrossFit regionally, and now she is back on the grid and looking better than ever. Like, she was so fast you couldn't even see her on your screen earlier.
And then I'm also going to be looking at Nathan Cobb, the Rookie of the Year. He just shined last year. He did not play like a rookie. So just to see what he can do after 1 full year of grid underneath his belt, I think he's going to be very, very dangerous. and probably looking at an MVP possibly.
He made a huge impact on his team last season, so I'm excited to see how his journey continues on the sport.
And of course, I'm going to be looking at my girl, Sabrina Cheney, over here. She proved to be one of the best bodyweight specialists last year coming in. And so there's a lot of gymnastics over here that she's going to be very much involved in. So just seeing how she handles that.
It's going to be great to see her and Reese Lyons as bodyweight specialists paired up doing those handstands for the Jack and Jill. That's one I have circled. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Southwest Florida Sharks now, the 2025 season champions.
Of course, you cannot talk about the Sharks without talking about the reigning MVP, Nick Shappy, over here. So he is just so consistent, so strong and fast, and he was the reason why the Sharks won the championship last year in that sprint relay with his pistol thrusters.
What more can I say?
And then, of course, we're going to be talking about Valerie Citron, because right here I was looking for Citron, but we have her own name, Gunny. But she does not get a lot. There you go. There you go. But she is all over. She does very well with this format. She's strong, but she's also really good on her hands. So can't wait to see what she does with the handstand walk and probably be able to do the handstand sled drag.
Yeah, not just a great athlete, but also a great personality to have on the grid, and just a great neutral figure to kind of keep your head level out there.
And of course, my girl Chelsea Ranieri. Like, she is the heartbeat of the team. Her energy, her personality, everything just sparks up. Oh yeah, just sparks up to just keep the energy flowing on that team. But she's gonna be the other girl that's gonna be all over the grid when it comes to the gymnastics. She is such a stud, and I love seeing her perform out here.
Excellent pickup for the bodyweight specialist on that team for sure. I crossed out this one over here just because that's a Kelsey Q. Sorry about that.
I was looking, I'm like, that looked like Kelsey.
Sorry. Well, we're going to go ahead and educate you about Mirror. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Mirror, the second race of every match, always features a barbell element. A male and a female barbell are placed in the first quadrant. Upon the start of the race, both are picked up by the team in any fashion by the 3 men and 3 women allowed in the race at any given time. Once the barbell leaves the ground, it may not touch the ground again until all reps are complete. If it does, the entire team must return to the start line before continuing. A set number of reps must be completed by both genders in each quadrant before the team can move on. Non-lifting players will act as the human rack to support the barbells as the team moves from quadrant to quadrant and switches performing players in the process as needed. Substitutions may happen at any time.
And we're ready for this mirror race. Remember, don't drop the barbell on the mirror or else you have to go back to the start line and just pick it up back off the ground. You have to move using human barbell racks through the quadrant. Now, it's going to be 40 hang, clean, and jerks. For the men, it's going to be 185 pounds, and for the women, it's 125 pounds. May not necessarily sound like a 1-rep max, but remember, they're doing 10 in a row as quickly as they can, and also using human barbells to move them from quadrant to quadrant. This is a single match sign over here on the breaker side. Let's go ahead and take it into split screen. And Brianna Maxwell, she actually used to play for the Palms. And Evan Newman, great pickup for the Palm Beach Breakers for that side. It looks like the Sharks are pulling ahead. Zion Zafra over for the Southwest Florida Sharks alongside Breezy Lanes.
And so you see the Sharks got a little bit of the lead, but right now you see Rookie of the Year Nathan Cobb and Rose Scott over here just demolishing the bar, just trying to close up that gap. So I think they closed it up, and it's going to maybe come down to that last quadrant. Whoa, they picked it up.
They definitely made up a lot of time here, but this is like 3 reps ahead for the Southwest Florida Sharks. A bunch of veterans. Derek Anderson for the Southwest Florida Sharks, one of their original team members. 1 finger up in the air for them. And the Southwest Florida Sharks are going to take the mirror race.
Oh, man, it was such a strong showing in that 3rd quadrant with the Breakers. Nathan Cobb and Rose Scott actually did a good job with catching it up, but the Breakers had kind of like just not as clean of a transition moving into the fourth quadrant, and the Sharks just capitalized off of that. Their transitions was a lot smoother, so they started a lot sooner, and that was the difference.
Definitely. It was a really close one, and they really tried to close that gap there, but close but no dice. And here we are getting ready for the ringer point race. And while I mention ringers, let me tell you this really quick. At the end of this race, voting is going to close, but if you go to unitedgridleague.com/vote, you are going to be able to choose a ringer for this match. It's going to happen right before the sprint relay, and you have a chance to influence what you want to see on the grid. So now we have 3 ringer point races, specialists versus specialists, and that's what that means. So we're getting ready to watch 3 burpee backflips. Personally, one of my favorites. It's going to be Haley Booker from the Palm Beach Breakers versus David Blatt of the Southwest Florida Sharks. What do we make of this?
This is a good matchup, but I am kind of leaning a little bit towards David, and I actually didn't even recognize David because he is sporting a bald head over there. I think that's going to make him a little bit more aerodynamic.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even consider that one. It's a good look, though.
It is. I'm out there like my baby growing up. I remember finding him on Instagram and bringing him onto the team, and then he since then has transferred over to the Sharks. Been doing great over there. But Haley Booker is such an incredible gymnast as well too. I think it's going to be very close about who can react off the floor the fastest, and then it's going to be a foot race towards the end.
Absolutely. Haley Booker, such a positive influence for her team and such a positive influence for the sport in general. David Blatt as well. He has multiple awards for what he does here on the grid. So this is definitely going to be a fight. I know that Haley Booker is fast at this, but to beat David Blatt, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, so Haley's definitely going to have to be springy. Both of them are former gymnasts, so it's going to come off to reaction speed off that floor, who can pop up and get right into that next rep the fastest.
Absolutely, that's such a good point. And make sure you land correctly as well.
Yes.
You don't want to go like straight towards the ground because then it doesn't count. We've seen that happen quite a few times. Let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces out here on the grid. Haley Booker of the Palm Beach Breakers, David Blatt of the Southwest Florida Sharks. Remember this moment because this is going to be gone in the blink of an eye. Don't miss it. Score is currently 2-4 with the Sharks up. And they're off. Haley Booker versus David Blatt. What a sprint for both of them. Whoa. Oh, David Blatt was able to gain a little bit more momentum. Haley, whoa! That was a close finish. Ouch.
Whoa! Yeah.
Do we know for certain who took that one?
I have no idea, but even David looks confused.
David is like, whoa, nobody's ever gotten that close to me before.
Making out like Haley just got up and then she popped up like a little fireground, like, okay, she hanging.
I totally didn't expect her to come up that fast. That's why I was already saying David Blatt. That was a freak of nature.
I think she surprised herself too. She looked up and she just yelled out something, let's go. So I love to see that type of intensity. And this is why I love this sport. You see men and women going head to head. And David, again, body weight specialist of the year, he has won. But for Haley Booker to come out there and like, I fear nobody. I am who I am. I love seeing that. That's awesome.
It's so cool. They're going to go ahead and get the times for us, and we'll find out in just a second who definitively took that. While we get that, I want to teach you about the Echo race and why it echoes.
Echoes.
The Echo race is made up of 4 stations of elements that each must be completed before moving on in the race. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, but only 1 player at a time can perform reps. Substitutions may happen at any time. Once the Echo race is complete, get ready, because the same race will be repeated 45 seconds later. This race is about managing fatigue with your best players and leveraging roster depth to keep performance at a max pace through the second Echo. Remember, get ready to do it again in the Echo.
And we are back. We just found out that the Palm Beach Breakers, Haley Booker, took that for her team. That's going to be their first race win of the day, and quite the bragging right, I have to say.
That's a huge bragging right there. And that was clean on both sides. And so kind of like the last match with the burpees, it was just clean and flawless and literally just came down to a foot race.
That was an amazing showing from Haley Booker. All those hops did her right before she started out here today. Now let's take a look at what we could find specifically in this Echo race. Of course, it's called the Echo because we're gonna see it twice, 45 seconds of transition time in between. Go ahead and tell them what they can expect.
All right, the men and women are going to be sharing a 53-pound kettlebell of 40 reps. The man will be performing squat snatches, and the women will just be performing hang snatches with a kettlebell. Then we're going to move to 15 5-inch deficit freestanding handstand push-ups, right into 15 medicine ball ring muscle-ups with a 6-pound ball between their legs. And then they're going to be sharing a 205-pound barbell for 15 reps, where the man will be performing clusters, which is a clean into a thruster. And the women will just be performing cleans where they can just power it or they can move into a squat clean.
Yeah, this is definitely going to show us who's the more communicative team. We know they both have it, but we saw a little bit of trouble with the Sharks on the Echo in this match format in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be interesting to see if the tides have changed. No Breakers pun intended. Actually, that could be a Sharks pun too. Sharks in the break. I don't know, something like that. We'll think about it. But this is going to be an absolute dogfight. Shay Newell for her team. It looks like Valerie Cintron for her team starting out. And we have about 1 minute till we start. What's something important to look for during this Echo or for the communication for this race, Taylor?
I'm going to be looking at Reese Lyons. So he is such a stud. And so the Breakers, if they're going to have a chance between the Sharks team, Reese really needs to have it together and be clean during the handstand push-ups and that transition into the ring muscle-ups. He has to do it twice because the Sharks have plenty of people that they can put in fresh people on both.
Absolutely. This is starting off once again with that 40 single arm kettlebell squat snatch. That's Valerie Cintron's bag right there. So we're gonna see how they start this off here. Once again, we're looking at two very high-level teams. We're looking at the Southwest Florida Sharks, the reigning champions, versus a playoff contender, a very close one, might I add, from last season. So we're gonna see how the cards fall for this one.
Yeah, and I'm up there looking at both teams. I don't see any guys really in preparation to take over any of the squat snatches. It's just so much faster for the women to just go from the hang and lock it out. So you're going to see many teams moving on across the league is to just utilizing their guys. The Lions, they actually utilize Marcus Medinos in that squat snatches, but it's just a longer range of motion and too risky for guys.
Yes, we're looking at Sydney Witter over here for the Southwest Florida Sharks. Of course, she used to play for the Tampa Bay Brigade, but helped the Sharks win that championship last season. We're also looking at a rookie over here on this side. This is Maddie Butler for the Palm Beach Breakers. She is a new sign, and it looks like a good one at that. She's going just about the same speed as a veteran.
Yeah, she looks strong, but I'm like, Sydney, she is such a beast, and she's just made light work of it. But Maddie did a great job in holding her own and getting Reese into the handstand push-ups first.
Absolutely. I like Reese's strategy here. He's bringing it down and keeping it so controlled. But Quentin Ambrosio, of course, he's won multiple awards here for Grid for what he does. And he basically never came down until a few reps ago. It did so many. Chelsea Rainieri taking over, Sabrina Cheney taking over and finishing. Andres Montenegro, formerly of the Daytona Beach Venom, formerly of the Miami Freaks, doing great and coming back on those rings. That was kind of his bag. Oh, but it looks like he lost the ball here and going against David Blatt. That's not necessarily going to fly.
Yeah,
Speaking
literally
of fly,
fly.
another ball is flying through the air.
And this is such a tough movement because you got to hold that ball in between your legs. And any little bit of slippage right there could be detrimental. But both of these athletes on the ring, they're such professionals. And so they were able to hold on to the rings while the female athlete was able to grab it for them. And it was still was able to keep going. Wow.
Absolutely. Great transition for the Palm Beach Breakers. Rose Scott finishing up the last few reps. 2 fingers in the air for the Breakers, 4 fingers in the air for the Sharks. So it looks like they were able to keep a lead. 1 rep remaining for Roe, and it looks like it's going to be JoJo Gomez from the Breakers to that heavy barbell first. Chelsea Raineri struggling a bit on that transition, but finishing off for her team so Zion Zafra can get there.
I know that the Breakers are so happy to see Roe. You saw Roe, as soon as she grabbed the ball, she literally just pulled herself straight up into a lockout and then worked on the swing there.
The world is her oyster. She was in control of that thing. Evan Newman coming out to meet Alyssa Martinez on the grid. And Jessie Coleman, shout out to her. We just saw her on the Sharks. She's the one that didn't get the picture quite there on the roster earlier. Zion Zafra making up time. It looks like the Breakers have a lead here, and they're going to need to hold on to it. 1 rep remaining. And the Palm Beach Breakers win their second race of the day besides that ringer point. Wow, way to work as a team for this first Echo.
They needed that. They definitely needed that momentum boost, but they're excited now, but still got 1 more Echo to go. So you can celebrate now, but you got to bring that energy down and stay focused on the race.
Absolutely. That was such a fun one, and we're going to set it up and do it over again. That's why it's called the Echo.
Echo, Echo, Echo.
I love having an Echo here. This is going to be such a fun one because, once again, there's 45 seconds in between. I keep on stressing this. There's not a lot of time to change the strategy.
Yeah. Exactly, and so the Breakers, they were able to pull ahead on that one, but the Sharks, they've been here before. They've been here. They both had a little bit of faults on the middle side, so it's going to see if they stick to the same technique or if they put in fresh athletes.
Absolutely, and it looks like both of them are opting for the same strategy so far, bringing out Cintron and Newell for the Echo 2. And here they are, Valerie Cintron, Shea Newell. This is the same setup that we saw for Echo 1. Now we're seeing Echo 2. Let's see if the Sharks can clean it up just a bit. It was that ball, that med ball, when they lost it, that's kind of when it got away from them, from the Breakers.
Yeah, and the Breakers, they dropped it on their side, but then the Sharks turned around and dropped it on their side as well, too. But they just look so strong, and I know the Breakers are so happy to have Andrea's back because that actually helps out Reese as well, too. So it'd be interesting to see if Reese does a little bit, because we know he's capable of it, or if he just sticks to the handstand push-ups.
Absolutely. The score is currently 6-6. They're tied with the championship team of last year. 2 very strong teams. I can't stress enough that this was the matchup that everybody wanted to see today. The Palm Beach Breakers have something to prove, and the Sharks have something to defend.
Exactly, and the Breakers, they felt as if they were short and should have been in the championship. So this is their opportunity to come back and show that last year was not a fluke and that they have all the right pieces to be a championship team.
Absolutely. 1 rep remaining for the Palm Beach Breakers, and they are on to those handstands. Both of them just about neck and neck. I can't believe that Reese Lyons putting his feet on the ground is almost faster than doing them strict and not resting.
Because the rule is that you just have to have your shoulders right over your wrist there. So instead of trying to focus on being balanced, sometimes it's faster just to come down, tap, and get right back into it.
Absolutely. Andres Montenegro and David Blatt starting their reps at the very same time. Andres Montenegro needing just a bit more time to get into that first rhythm, but he is flying once he gets there.
Yeah, he looks so much smoother there, but he took a little second to have Roe readjust. That's the professionalism, but he just slipped out of it right there, which just opens up the door for David Blatt. He is controlling it a lot better. Oh, I see they just transitioned there. Gonna hand it off to Chelsea Raineri.
Great, stronger transition there for the Sharks as well.
Exactly. It's all about communication here. And you see Roe up there just kind of directing him, and they just lost the ball again.
Yeah, that's right. And it looks like he was supposed to finish that rep, and that was his last one. But unfortunately, he did fall. Hand up in the air for Chelsea Raineri on the Sharks over there. Rose Scott has her hand up as well. They just need to finish here as quickly as possible. David Blatt taken back over for Chelsea. Will that transition time cost them? It looks like it did. 1 rep remaining for Rose Scott. And the Breakers, once again, are the first to the barbell. And Nathan Cobb is on the other side of that grid. Woo!
Oh, man, that's why I know the Breakers are so happy to have Rowe back, because even though they're down a couple of athletes, Rowe kind of serves as 2-3 athletes right there. So.
Absolutely. Definitely came in clutch at that last second. Chalkeen Graham coming out for the Southwest Florida Sharks. Nathan Cobb finishing up and giving it to the rookie, Maddie Butler. Maddie's been doing great so far today. It looks like she just vaulted out, having a little bit of trouble with that barbell at the end. They're going to have to utilize a different strategy maybe, because those were just her first few reps there.
Yeah, and Jessie Coleman is up here making light work of those cleans. And if you have a strong enough female, it is good to have a strong female do the cleans, because it's such a shorter range of motion over there. So they utilize that. Oh, no, they dropped the bar. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. The Southwest Florida Sharks are going to take Echo 2. A lot of struggle. Wait, sorry, did they?
The Sharks took it, yeah. The Breakers had 1 more rep left, and their rookie, Maddie, just struggled with the last one and dropped the bar, and JoJo was not ready to take it. And so that just opened up the door for the Sharks to hold on to that bar and to close it out.
Absolutely. It looks like it was just like a lot of pressure on her. It was like landing awkwardly on her. Her feet weren't necessarily wide enough to hit that squat. But Jessie Coleman was just able to power it. So it's, you know, you got to shake off your freshman feathers, you know. This is just her first match.
And you can't do nothing when you have Jessie on the other side. Jessie is going to muscle and demolish that barbell. So when you have somebody like her on the other side, just able to power clean it, you just can't come back there. You just got to hold on to the bar. But Maddie, this is her first time doing it. But for her to take up the challenge to take over that 205 bar, she's going to be just fine in the future.
Absolutely. And speaking of, let's go ahead and take it to the Breakers with my friend Daniel.
We're here on the grid with the head coach of the Palm Beach Breakers, Matt Hornaday. Might I add, the 2025 Coach of the Year. Coaching your butt off right now. When you look across there, you see a really good Sharks team, the defending champs. You're right here. It's a dogfight. What do you tell your team to stay in it and hopefully pick up a victory today?
So our focal point is making sure that we're clean on our reps and making sure we hit our assignments. If we do that, we're going to put ourselves in the best shape we possibly could be in. We've done really well so far. We had a plan, and we've been executing against that plan pretty well. That last race, we thought we were going to get that second echo, but there was a little fatigue there. But the team did really well there. I mean, we dropped the ball on the muscle-ups, but that seems to be par for the course for today. So can't say too much about that, but we got this.
Yeah, so you got the back half of the match coming up. Who has to step up to really solidify y'all's chance and really put your name at the top with the Sharks?
So to answer your question there, it's a longer question than probably what we have time for. But what we will say is on this one, as we're about to go into ladder and we're about to go into our ringer point after that, you're going to see Evan Newman step up. You're going to see Josh is about to come in. Matter of fact, I got to make a sub real quick. But you're going to see Josh about to come in as well. Our triad squad is badass. So wait to see Sabrina in that triad, wait to see Haley in that triad, who just won a ringer, who was not expected to win that. So we stole a point there. We'll take that for sure. We're going to have some big things coming in the back half of this race.
So basically, to recap, everybody's going to be necessarily to pick up a victory. Best of luck, Matt. Appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Cassie, Taylor, throw it back to you.
Thanks for that, Daniel. Matt Hornaday, one of the sharpest dressed on the grid.
Well, one of them. I would say the.
All right.
He comes correct every time.
He sure does. Everybody has their own little style, but Matt Hornaday definitely comes in the sharpest.
No, he got the money shoes on there, I told him.
There we go. Well, we're going to teach you a little bit about strength specialists versus strong people, and we'll be right back.
The ladder consists of 2 rows of 4 stations of a strength-based element, 1 row for males and 1 row for females. The weight increases as you move down the grid. Teams send out 1 player at a time. alternating male and female, to perform the designated lift for the match format. Each successful lift has a point value that is added to the team's ladder score. The point value is equal to the quadrant the barbell is sitting in. Players are allowed 1 lift attempt per quadrant and may skip any quadrant they choose, but are never allowed to backtrack once a barbell is passed. The team with the highest total point value at the end of the 4-minute time cap wins. This race is one of the most strategic and coach-reliant of all of the races. As a good game plan and in-the-moment decision-making, to manage time is everything. Remember, lift heavier and score higher in the ladder race.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft.
I like the fit. I like the fabric. And it makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts. Love competing in the shorts. They stay put. Got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely passed the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor.
So I still feel covered, but able to do all the movements.
Go get yourself some.
Alrighty, friends, we learned what a ladder is. Now here's the specifics of it.
All right, so for this ladder, we have one of the longest movements that we have. We have 2 deadlifts and 1 clean. So the man's weight is going to increase from 250, 275, 300, and 325 pounds on the barbell, and the women's weight is going to go 155, 175, 195, and 215. So each athlete will, each team will have an athlete of each gender, alternate genders, trying to accumulate as many bars as they can across the grid. For whatever bar that they hit in that corresponding grid, they will earn that amount of points and reps. So if you hit the first bar, you earn 1 point. If you hit the 4th bar, you earn 4 points. Each athlete has the opportunity of gaining 10 points for their respective team.
That's right, Sailor. This is one that takes a little bit longer. We talked about this, and because every quadrant is worth whatever quadrant you're in, so 1 is worth 1, 4 is worth 4, because it takes so long, you really want to make sure that you're getting those fast players through quickly. Is that right?
Exactly. So yes, this is about the strongest team as well too, but it's also about the fastest team as well too. Because this movement is technically 3 lifts in one, you have to move through as fast as possible. So if you miss a bar, that could be detrimental for a team.
Definitely, and well said. The Palm Beach Breakers staying close to the Sharks here, and it's becoming deeper waters. The Palm Beach Breakers are 7, the Southwest Florida Sharks are 8. I think everybody kind of expected that it was going to be close, but it's been pretty neck and neck so far.
Yeah, and the Breakers, they're down a couple of girls too. So they're not even at full capacity. So the fact that they're this close and making it this competitive on every single race is showing that last year was not a fluke.
That's right, and they came with something to prove this season. Let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces on the grid. It looks like Breezy Lanes is getting ready. It looks like Rose Scott is getting ready. Oh man, what a machine. I'm so glad that Rose is back. She's just so much fun to watch on the grid. Let's see it happen.
Stand by. Race.
Alrighty, Breezy Lanes for the Southwest Florida Sharks. She is a really fast ladder clearer no matter what it is. She is a taller athlete. She's on the stronger side. And Rose Scott, though she is on the shorter side, she is absolutely mighty, and you can see it. They opted to move straight to the 2nd barbell instead of the 1st. Rose Scott in that 4th quadrant. Can she clear it? Why was that even a question?
You already know that Rose is going to clear it. The question was how fast is she going to clear it. And Breezy, you already know she's going to clear it as well too, but she actually started from 1.
That's right.
But that also allowed her team to get on the grid a lot faster. So this is trying to get as many athletes through as possible.
Definitely, because there is a time cap, so everybody is going to finish within the time. The thing about the ladder race that you need to understand is that you need to finish within 10 points of the other team, because if you don't, you will zero out.
Yeah, and you just saw Evan Newman. He has such a strong rookie show last year. While everybody was still talking about Nathan Cobb, like Evan was just like, I'm just gonna go over here and do my thing for the team over here. But he is such a strong athlete and competitor. You're gonna be seeing him all over tonight.
Definitely. Sydney Witter on the left-hand side of your screen for the Southwest Florida Sharks. Alyssa Martinez going for the clean in the fourth quadrant. Oh, she's dealing with some injuries right now, so that's a really hard one for the Palm Beach Breakers to be dealing with as well.
Yeah, we said it earlier. It's like you have this such a long movement that you cannot afford to have a missed bar. So, so that one, hopefully it doesn't come down to it, but you got to make sure that every single bar that you hit is a clean one.
Absolutely. And we're looking at Josh Newell for the Palm Beach Breakers. He's doing one at a time deadlifts, making sure that he's able to hit that last clean. It was an easy clean. I don't even know if he needed that rest. Derek Anderson, of course, who hit the heavy barbell for the championship match last season and helped bring it home for his team. He's in that fourth quadrant. Oh, that was a really tough one. It landed just a little bit low on his shoulders as well. We're looking at a rookie over here in Maddie Butler for the Palm Beach Breakers.
She's a good pickup. She's very strong. I cannot wait to see her develop over the year once she gets definitely comfortable on the grid. But that was such a solid clean right there.
Definitely made up for what happened earlier. It looks like the speed is just something that she needs to get used to, that pressure of having to go so fast and go from zero to having a barbell on your shoulders in like half a second.
Oh, of course, and we're hearing some of the rookies talking about how they were upset with how in the past how the match didn't go the way they wanted to. It's different. It's different from practice when you get on the grid. The adrenaline out here when refs are faulting you, you can't train that.
Absolutely, and this is beta testing that we're doing for our scoring, but it looks like so far the Breakers have a slight bias here. We're looking at Brianna Maxwell of the Palm Beach Breakers, formerly of the South Beach Palms. She's just a single match sign, but definitely one that they needed for the women on the strength side, and she is going to bring those points home for them.
I know they are happy, so happy to have her back because, again, they were missing some athletes in, but that was a huge signing to help with the strength.
Absolutely. Joseph Gomez flying through the grid. He's one of the faster ladder clears in grid in general. Nick Shappy as well. He looks like he's going to be skipping straight to the third bar. They're trying to get those high points. They know exactly what they need to do because they're really going to have to overcome this deficit over here.
Yeah, you saw Nick went straight to the third bar just to get as many points as he can, but he missed. He didn't have enough time to get that last one, and he knew it. I think he just wanted to show off that he could hit that bar.
Absolutely. What a great showcase from both of these teams on the strength side. In just a minute, we're going to be finding something out. That fan-voted ringer that I told you to vote for earlier, I know you voted for it. I know people at home were voting for it all week.